Hi everyone, welcome back to my lab and today's video, which is going to be just an overview of my everyday makeup routine, what I wear to work, with a focus on how I cover my dark circles since that is my main area of concern. I'm not wearing any foundation at all, and I will take you through all the different tools as well as makeup items that I use to create my everyday look. It takes me about 5 to 10 minutes to get this look together, and it's perfect for me when I'm on the run or just don't have too much time for eyeshadow or foundation or things like that. As you can see, both are missing from this look. Before we get started, I do want to remind you that I have a giveaway going on my channel right now for my 4K giveaway, and that video will be linked in the description box down below, and your comment on this video does enter you for the comment winner drawing. Now, without any other delay, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to be really close and personal. I want you to see the exact before and after of my everyday makeup routine with a focus on covering my dark circles. So here's my skin with only my skincare applied, and I brushed my eyebrows, so I'm not wearing any makeup at all. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. The way I would normally begin is by applying the Touch of Pearl, and this is the key player in my makeup routine. Here's what the product looks like. I have been using this for several months, and I've still been using what was on the cap, if you can believe that. So usually what I'll do is I'll just dip my finger. It's becoming harder as my nails get a little bit longer, and I have about that much. That is actually too much already. So I'm going to use this for both my eyes. I do focus it underneath my eyes, and then I'll place whatever is left over on top. So I'm just going back and forth, as you can see. In case you're interested, I'm using the shade Moonlight, which is the lightest shade, but this is not a concealer, so honestly, I think I probably could have gotten away with all 3 shades. There's not that much of a difference between them, but I decided to purchase the lightest shade, and I'm just tapping that in. Like, already it looks so much better. This product does have a tendency to crease into fine lines upon first application, but then you just go in and tap, tap, tap again. And after I layer my concealer, so you can see it on my eyelids, after I layer my concealer over it and then set it down with my powder, that's it for the creasing. It doesn't crease at all. The next key player in my routine is the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer. This is my everyday concealer because it's not too bright. I use mine in the shade medium light neutral. It's not too bright, and it's really hydrating, and it's not so heavy that you look bad wearing it without foundation. So I really like it, and I don't use very much at all. As you can see, I'm going to focus in the areas where my circles are the darkest, and I'm going to do it in a semi-triangular format, but not as much as you see like on YouTube where they're making like big triangles going through. Like, I don't do that for every day. I'm also focusing that on the inner corner of my eye where I have a little bit of darkness as well. And that's it for the concealer. I literally only dipped once, and I didn't use all the product that was on my brush. So the first tool that I'm going to use is a beauty sponge. You can use any beauty sponge, and mine is dampened. And I'm going to use this to blend this out. And I'm just using light tapping motions to blend underneath my eyes. And then I'm also blending across my eyelids. And I'm carrying this product down just a little bit to the sides of my nose and in the areas where I have the most pores, which is right here, my cheekbones. Now, as you can see, I have really deep set eyes, which is why I enjoy blending with a sponge because I like the effect that it gives. But I also love a brush like this one. This is the Stila number 33. It's dual-ended. It's got a smaller side and a wider side. And the reason why I love it is because it's synthetic, so it doesn't remove the product I've already applied. And I am able to press the concealer deeper into my skin and really get into that inner corner, which is the hardest of all to blend for me. And I'm gonna repeat the process on the other eye. So notice that I didn't necessarily set it right away, and the reason for that is because for the next tool that I'm going to use, it's a squirrel hair brush, and I know I'm not supposed to really use it with cream products, so I try to sort of let it dry down a little bit so I'm not hurting my beautiful, beautiful brush that I love so much. So the next product that I'm going to use has been repackaged, but I still have this one. This is the Too Faced Prime and Poreless Powder. I will never, ever understand why this doesn't get any more love on YouTube. It's amazing, like literally amazing. And the brush that I use is my Wayne Goss airbrush. There's just nothing softer. So I'm going to go through and make sure that nothing is creasing. And then I'm going to go into this powder, and I take a very generous amount. And then I set right underneath my eyes and also pat it over my eyelids. You can carry this powder a little bit further down to where your pores are. It is supposed to disguise pores. I don't have too many, and so I'm okay with just this. I use such little concealer, and I blended it so well that my skin feels essentially dry. Okay, and here's what my eyes look like with just the focus on how I cover my dark circles and conceal my eyes for an everyday look. I already feel so much better, like I would feel totally comfortable leaving the house like this. But depending on how much time I have, I prioritize the following ways. So the first thing I'll use is another product that I just don't understand why it doesn't get any more love. And that is my Too Faced Bronzed Peach Melting Powder Bronzer. Mine is unfortunately no longer attached to the packaging, but I love it so much I still use it. And I use this with a synthetic brush, kind of like this one. This one is by True Beauty, but you can find something like this in the brush sets by BH Cosmetics. I just found this at TJ Maxx and it's great. And what I'll do is I'll just go inside the package and I'll rub a little bit onto my brush. And this is what I use to semi-bronze and contour. So I will usually start here on my cheeks and sort of place it where I would normally contour. And what I love about this is that it has a glow to it. I love a very nice hydrated look. It looks fresh and awake, especially in the summertime. And this bronzer makes it look like it's my skin that's actually glowing that much and has the pigmentation of the product. So I really like it. I need to buy a backup because I'm running out. I could just glue the pan back in the package. I honestly don't understand why they made it that way. And every time I'm at Sephora, like even the blushes that are in the same line, they're always separated from the packaging. So there's definitely a flaw there. A bonus to this product is that it smells like the Peachy Mattes palette. Oh my gosh, smells so good. So good. So you can see I'm not being very structured. This brush is really big, so you can't really be structured about this. And that's the idea. You want to make it look like a no makeup, like a real no makeup look. So typically I would apply this before I set my under eyes, but I wanted you to really see the effect of just the under eye routine because that's what this video is mostly about. But I did also want you to see the rest of the steps. Take a good whiff because it smells delicious, and that's it for that product. So next in my order of priority is highlighter, and I use a variety. This one is by Cover FX in the shade Bubbly. I'm using this one because it will demonstrate my setting spray so well. This one doesn't blend as well as the Hourglass one does, and so that's why I wanted to use this one to show you. So I'm actually gonna go on and literally paint it on, and I know it looks like I have a stripe right now, but not to worry at all. So I just paint it on my cheeks. You can see where I applied it. I also apply a little bit to the bridge of my nose and to the Cupid's bow. Now I'm going to go in with my fingertips and just very roughly blend this out. I don't mean rough like banging on my skin. I just mean like tapping it in and not being too concerned about if the harsh line is removed or not, because the setting spray is going to do that for me. You could also go into the product with your fingertips on the product itself and then apply it, and it'll blend a lot easier, but honestly, setting spray will take care of it. Okay, so that's the next step. Next, I'm going to use one of the Stila convertible colors. This one is in the shade Lilium, and I have a Wet n Wild stippling brush. This is a very, very inexpensive brush, and the way I apply this is I just tap, tap, tap inside the product. You can also do this with your fingertips. This blends out so well. And I'm going to apply it just underneath where I applied highlight, focusing on the apples. Okay, and you can pat, pat, pat again. If you don't like cream products, you can obviously do this with powder products as well. They layer very well. The bronzer that I would recommend is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I do this routine with that one. And for blushes, the Milani blushes are nice, or the Flower Beauty Flower Pots. Those are really nice. Now, if I have time to mess around with my eyebrows, my product of choice is the Anastasia Brow Powder Duo, and I use the Anastasia 7B brush. If I don't have time to do this, usually I will just put some gel in my eyebrows and call it a day. Especially since I have bangs now, it kind of disguises that a little bit, so I can sacrifice the brow look a little bit more. And when I'm satisfied with the brows, I'll go in with a little bit of the Brow Gal. This is just my brow gel that I'm using right now, but you can use the one by Anastasia, or the one from e.l.f. works well. I have one from Essence that's terrible. Don't like that. But this one works really well. Some of you told me that it flakes on you. It doesn't flake on me as long as I don't, pick at my brows throughout the day, because it does definitely lock them in place. I actually quite like this. At this point, I do like to use my Rimmel London Under Eye Brightener. Depending on how much time I have, the brows are the step that I will sacrifice, but obviously your priorities may be different. This pencil's like $2. It wasn't always this small, but I just love it. Alright, so I do have mascara to apply. And that's going to be my final step. So now I have to tell you about my setting spray. I've been using the Pixi Glow Mist, and I love it so much. You can see that it's separated because it has argan oil and water, obviously, and those two don't mix. So you have to shake it to emulsify it a little bit, and then it's nice and mixed. A lot of people have complained about the mister. I do find that it kind of isn't exactly where you think it might spray, but the way I use it is I'll just give a couple of sprays and focus exactly where I have the highlight. Now, because of the argan oil in this spray, it just mixes well with the highlighter. And that's the reason why the highlight just goes into my skin like immediately. I haven't even touched it. And you can see that it just, any harsh line that I had going on disappeared. And this is the reason why I was saying I didn't really care how I applied the highlight, because I mean, look at this. Sometimes I'll go in and I'll tap it to just sort of like finesse it a little bit, but this was perfect. I'm so glad it turned out that way for the demo, because it's just a perfect mix. So if you're using cream highlighters that don't seem to blend into your skin, this is a great pair. For my mascara, I've been loving this one right now. This is a little mini guy, and it is the Stila, what is it called? Huge Extreme Lash Mascara. Now, I have to say, like, my only complaint about this is probably what makes it work so well, and it's the size of the brush. I almost always will get it on my skin, so I have to be super careful. Usually I do apply a lash primer, but mine is like completely gone. I need to buy a new one. And here's the effect of just that mascara. I like it so much. Sadly, my camera stopped recording, but I was showing you the Benetint and how it stains your lips. You just apply it and the liquid part evaporates, leaving behind the pigment. So you can see it just gives the impression that your lips are that color, and then you can apply lip balm over it and you're ready to go. I prefer something a little more corally, so I'm going to set that one to the side, although I do love it. Sephora Collection also makes wonderful stains in so many different colors, but I am partial to my YSL. These are the Rouge Volute Shines, because there's different varieties. They're all packaged the same. This is the one that doesn't have the little lips on the bullet. So it looks like this. So you're going to see I'm going to go over this, and the pink is going to essentially disappear. These come in a variety of different colors. I have the number 12 shade if you're interested in this one, but they come in all different colors. I've been using it forever and I still have it, so I think it's definitely worth the money. And this is your finished everyday makeup look. So this is your finished look with my hair and everything else put together. I hope that you enjoyed this video and found it helpful for your daily routine. Please let me know which step is most important to you in your everyday routine. I know that I'm one that I'm willing to sacrifice eyebrows, but that's not the same for everybody. So I'm interested, what is your step in your makeup routine that you absolutely cannot skip? For me, it's the under eye circles, and that's why this video focused primarily on that. Now, my entire routine takes me 5 to 10 minutes depending on how many steps I add. I think it's totally worth it. I really appreciate the added confidence that just a couple of makeup products can give me, especially when I'm going to work. I'm going to be talking in front of a lot of people and meeting new people every day. It just makes me feel better about myself. I love it. I just love makeup. It can't always be a yellow cut crease that I know you guys have been loving. It's just not situationally appropriate for my daily life. I hope you did enjoy this video. Thank you so much for spending a few minutes of your day with me. If you did enjoy the video, please do not forget, give me a big thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I look forward to seeing you again very, very soon on my next one. Bye-bye.